So I'm Ursula Ströh Rubens, and I came over to England to get married to my husband, Maurice Rubens, and the first few months I got a little bit bored and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, and he said, well, why don't you come to my school where he was teaching? So I did, and he taught, it was a boys' school in Bow, and he taught ceramics and art. And I saw the clay, and he said, well, I'll show you how to make a coil and to begin a pot. And so I did, and it was very strange because there was a box in the middle of the room where the kiln was. So that's where I sat near the table, and he was teaching around, but nobody could see me. And I was doing the coils and making a pot, and it was amazing because I've never had clay before, and I just was so taken by it and so fascinated. I decided I wanted to go to art school. So I applied first in Central because that was the nearest. We lived at the time in the Abbey Art Centre in New Barnet, so that was the nearest to get to. But they didn't have a beginner's course really. So I went to Goldmiths and started there and worked under several potters, but David Garbett, who was then the head of the department, he was the biggest influence, and he had a very interesting lookout, you know, and he was not just a potter, he was really a painter. So it was very interesting, and I learned a lot there because lots of visiting artists came, and we just soaked everything up. But it was very free. You could, I did actually not just pottery, I did the painting and etching as well. It was a general course. It was for the diploma. The degree course hadn't started yet, but it was going to later on, and I just caught the last bit of the diploma course. So that was probably a year and a half I did that, and then I did my diploma in ceramics and etchings. And etching was another subject which I really enjoyed, and it related very much to ceramics as far as I can see, because I use a lot of graphic ideas for ceramics. So that was the beginning. And I remember we were going one time, we were going to make a lamp, and our tutor said, well, you know, sort of that and that shape and so on. But I had this idea of making this big bowl, and then of course I had to do something to make it stand, and so I went to the welding department and welded feet for it out of stainless steel. And that was the beauty of Goldmiths College. You could go to different departments and use different facilities. So it was a very, very good starting point.